the development of cosmonautics was based on ideology, and now this is the area where we should try to assist each other in creating the mechanisms that will yield collective results, and this cooperation, I believe, is extremely important for the future, taking into account the fact that space programs become more and more complicated, more and more costly, and the goals that we set for ourselves become more and more complicated. And so I think that no country alone can develop space alone. We need to combine our efforts, and we need to talk about it more often. So maybe we could have some sort of an international meeting, maybe at the heads of governments level, because we talk about various issues such as tackling all kinds of challenges and dangers and hazards that humanity is facing these days. Various disarmament programs, etc. But there is a very important and positive factor that unites us all, and so maybe it would be good to have a summit, maybe at the heads of governments level, for the countries that are working in space. So see, I have a very good, very good idea on this holiday. What do you think? We could invite you to participate as well. Yes, there is no doubt that this is beneficial because there are very few areas where we can be united without any politics. Space is complicated, complex, but very interesting to research and to study. And so each country is interested in ensuring its presence in space. So together we can achieve a lot more than separately. And we're not talking about the sum of different parts. I'm talking about the geometrical progression, and you can see that the ISS is a great example of international cooperation, where we have two completely different technical schools, Russian and US, and we combined our effort. We found the interfaces not only for machines but also for humans, and we've created this wonderful, fully functional station, the forepost of humanity in the near-Earth orbit, and that is something that should be used in the future. And I know that the utilization of it has been expanded to 2020. So the Japanese Space Agency, European Space Agency, Canadian Space Agency are also participating in this effort, and they have found their niche in this interface. And together we have created a single organism. And not only the station is a single organism, but also the crew functions as one body, even though it consists of representatives from different countries. We had a European astronaut on board, we have Japanese astronauts on board right now, and we have American astronauts, Russian, and we understand each other perfectly. We don't have any conflicts, and I hope that this will be true also regarding our cooperation everywhere else. Oleg, these are very good words. It's nice to hear that. I think that it will be a mistake if I don't ask you some simple questions. How's life?
Как? Ну, это такой вопрос.
Well,
Наверное, самый популярный вопрос, что вам больше всего нравится?
It's like one of the most popular questions that we're asked. What do you like best in space? And my answer is always two things: weightlessness and the view out of the window. And my colleagues, I'm sure, will support me in that.
Когда внутренне меняется
Also, just life in this three-dimensional
стены, все
space where walls and floor and ceiling become all the same. That's very interesting. It takes changing your mind, the way you think about your surroundings. Well, like I'm trying to understand. We have seen the Earth from space. We have all seen lots of pictures, but so that's clear. But what about weightlessness? Overall, do you feel positively about it, or is it too difficult? Well, I can tell you honestly that even in the first flight, I noticed 1 month into the flight, I had this feeling as though I had been living in space and weightlessness my entire life. It became such a natural part of my mind, of my thinking, that I didn't have any problems. Everything was so natural, so pleasant, so comfortable. You get used to all the minor negative details of being in space, in weightlessness, but also you begin to enjoy the positive tremendously. And that's something that you don't forget, and your body remembers that. And so it was interesting. After I came back to Earth, I was uncomfortable, actually, in experiencing Earth gravitation, and I'm sure my colleagues will confirm that. To me, it was strange to see that people are not only walking on the surface of the planet, but also running. It seemed very difficult. Okay, and how's the food? Are they feeding you well?
Знаете, это извечная тема. Космическая еда, конечно.
Well, that's something that we always talk about. Food in space is different from the ideas that people have based on what they knew in the 60s or 70s. The food becomes more and more similar to what we eat on Earth. We don't have any tubes. We do have cans, and the variety is pretty good. So because we're using the resources of all space agencies, we have a very international cuisine. We have Japanese food, we have American food, European, so there's no complaints here.
Понятно.
I see.
Ну и тогда еще один вопрос.
Okay, one more question then.
Интересен, я думаю, что
that I'm just curious about, and I'm sure I might be the only one interested in this because I'm in a room full of experienced people, so they know that. So, but how do you? Can you exercise? Can you do any sports activities in space? Yes, we exercise. The space station is well equipped with preventive measures, including 2 treadmills, 2 cycle ergometers, and a special device that imitates weightlifting. We also have special loading suits, electrical stimulation suits, but I'm sure my crew members will support me. As much as we exercise in space, a lot more than we ever did on Earth, because we spend at least 2 hours at the gym here, which is a necessary measure to prevent the negative effects of space on a human body and before we return to Earth. So this is very important for long duration space flights as well.